Meanwhile, Brazil's filed a declaration of intervention in the case concerning application of the Convention of the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide in the Gaza Strip proceedings. South Africa versus Israel's course under Article 63 of the statute. Perhaps to talk a little bit more about this, we're going to be joined by veteran journalist Sophie Mokoena. Sophie, a very good morning. Obviously, with this news coming in, we're looking at what this means both legally and politically, that Brazil's now chosen to intervene under Article 63 of the Genocide Convention. Well, what does this also mean for the global south more broadly?
I think it's good news for South Africa that started with this action in terms of requesting the International Court of Justice to impose measures to stop what Israel was doing in Gaza with the intention to prevent a genocide. You will recall in January 2024, the legal team of South Africa was at The Hague at the International Court of Justice arguing that what Israel was doing will end up being a genocide. And this week we also saw a special committee that was appointed by the United Nations saying that indeed what is happening in Gaza is a genocide. That committee that was led by Dr. Nevi Pillay, a South African, and therefore it is good news to hear now that Brazil, a country from the south, has also joined. We know that this is not the only country that has joined South Africa in this case. Countries such as Cuba, Colombia, and Turkey, including Ireland, have also joined to support South Africa. And therefore, it adds to a number of countries that have joined, including Palestine itself. And therefore, for South Africa, it's good news to see that as we approach that moment where finally we will hear when the real matter of the court having to give a verdict whether this is a genocide is approaching, because we know that previously last year it was a provisional measure to stop Israel from continuing with military action because South Africa was saying this will lead to genocide. And now the real case still has to be ventilated in terms of the court itself classifying that action as genocide. But looking at the support, it's good for South Africa, it's good for the developing South, because the continuation of military action in Gaza, more people are dying. People are also dying because of starvation, and including the issue of starvation. It is being categorized as a crime against humanity. We're still waiting then for the International Criminal Court also to make an announcement when will they continue with the case. But we know that they've since issued the warrant of arrest against the former Minister of Defense of Israel, including the Prime Minister of Israel. That is why when Benjamin Netanyahu is going to the UN next week at the UNGA, he will have to use a different route, long haul, to avoid flying over countries that are signatories to the Rome Statute.
Well, Sophie, we're going to monitor those developments, particularly as that UNGA, UN General Assembly, obviously takes place, and President Ramaphosa will be, representing us and perhaps also reflecting the global South sentiments as well. Thank you for your time at this hour. Let's monitor those developments and see how this all plays out with relations to the U.S., with Israel as well. This morning, international relations expert or a former editor as well, Sophie Mokoena, joining us to just chat about the news just in. We know that Brazil has now also intervened under Article 63 in the South Africa versus Israel ICJ case, of course, with regards to the genocide in Gaza there. Lots of dynamics unfolding. Let's monitor it as it continues.